So the idea really was about this piece to actually evoke idea of adventure in a forest, create a sense of wonder and surprise.
And one of our original kind of concepts was like a giant game of pick-up sticks. Then we've refined back to 5 sticks, if you like, colours.
This kind of juxtaposition between highly constructive, highly resolved industrial materials.
The idea of being able to see the structure and the colour became important as well. So it kind of starts to become something. There's an architectural kind of element to it. Like, is it a structure that's falling down? Is it in the process of being built?
Depending how you walk, you can actually see the forest through it. So forest literally becomes a part of the work. So forest is actually, sits in between those kind of, planes of colour.
It's basically a story of men who, after their 9-to-5 job, they go home and they put on these bunny suits, these bright coloured bunny suits, and they sneak out and they find other men who like to wear these fluffy suits. On this particular evening, when the men are meeting, a bit of a tragedy has happened. We've got the death of a man in a bunny suit, and thus the news of this is spreading through the men in suits. In this case, these pieces are made of clay. So clay by nature is quite fragile, it's quite delicate, it's quite breakable. The ceramics lead back to the whole nature of mankind that I'm sort of commenting on, which isn't one of strength. If these pieces were bronze, that would imply that they were permanent, that they would last forever. But in fact, these men are going to die like we're all going to die. And there's a certain set of characteristics that come with that make me interested in working in ceramics. Not often you get the opportunity to work in a unique environment like this. Obviously, an environment like this, though, has its challenges. It's really hard to allow work to stand up against something so dramatic and wild as this. And also knowing that this environment is going to change every single day, even every single hour, the way light affects an artwork in this space. It's a real challenge and quite an exciting one to have taken on.
A couple of things, I guess, sit underneath it for points of inspiration. The first is to be able to locate some sort of sound within a memory space. This structure, I guess, evoking a sense of memory and certainly of time, but through the music composition, there's a sense of something that's quite naive, something that's almost innocent. And that's paired up later in the piece with the notion of resonant sounds throughout an essentially wooden space. For a long time I've been working in the area of infrasound, and the sound waves that sit below the notional limits of human hearing, so basically below 20 hertz. What happens here is that you have an involuntary physiological response to the sound waves that operate through the space. I guess technically I'm not exhibiting in the rainforest because I'm in the miner's hut, but I guess there's this complementarity of sound, bird sound in particular, the sound of water as it cascades throughout the Jamison Valley here, playing some really nice counterpoint with the composed material in the installation. So I'm very excited, I think it's terrific.